What's up, y'all? It's Moose here, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 resources at the University of North Texas I really recommend using as a college freshman. So as you like and subscribe to this video, let's get right to it. So as you move into your college dorm, specifically at UNT, one of the first things you'll notice is that you're going to have an RA. Your resident assistant is also an undergrad student, typically taking classes full-time too, but they're also responsible for the building in your wing. They are an amazing resource in terms of trying to understand navigating campus, trying to get mentorship, and also just getting to know someone. Being a college freshman is extremely hard, and your RA is there to help you with roommate problems, with problems finding resources on campus. If you're really struggling to make friends, ways to get involved, your RA is a really great way to do that. Getting to know your RA can open a lot of paths for you. For me personally, getting to know my RA helped me find leadership organizations on campus, which led me to get very involved on campus and find leadership roles, and later on for myself to become an RA too. So one of the first things I always strongly recommend doing is getting to know your RA. Also, just ask them what they do, ask them what they're involved in, ask them what they do to be successful on campus, because typically RAs are also leaders on campus that do a lot of different things, and it's always good to have a great example and also have that mentorship relationship with somebody. I always recommend after meeting your RAs is going to your professor office hours. Oftentimes, as a freshman, you're going to be in extremely large classes. I remember the largest class I was in my freshman year was a class of 500 people. However, I still went to the office hours, and the professor got to know me in person, and I got to form a strong relationship with them. That professor later on went on to be the person that really inspired me to go on to graduate school and get a master's degree in counseling, which I'm doing right now. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is go meet your professors during office hours. That way you can build a personal relationship with them. And in case anything ever does happen and you need an extension, or you really need help with something, the teacher will be much more empathetic towards you because they see you putting in an effort to build a relationship. One of the things you'll notice in college, especially with classes, is building strong relationships with professors is really important. They can help you find things that you're passionate about. They can help you find ways to get involved on campus. If you want to do research, a lot of professors take in undergraduate research assistants. You can do that too. You can volunteer for a lot of the projects they do. That way you can really start utilizing them and start finding things that you're passionate about. So one of the things I recommend doing is going to office hours and talking to your professor. Ask them what makes students successful in class, because if it's a really hard class, they can give you insight on what you can do to be proactive about being well in class and getting better grades. So it doesn't matter if you're have in a class that's super small or super big. I know it can be nerve-wracking to go up to a professor, but I promise you, professors like talking to students, and that's what office hours are there for. So go there and talk to them. Have questions ready for them if you have any questions, and just have a conversation with them. So far we've talked about really finding support systems with going to office hours, or also just talking to your RA. One of the things I also recommend for college students that are freshmen, specifically first generation college students, is going to therapy. And you might be thinking, well, therapy is expensive, and also talking to a therapist sounds extremely scary. However, I promise you, everyone has mental health needs, and it's okay to go to a therapist, and they're there to listen to you. University of North Texas, part of your tuition is already paying for going to therapy. The counseling testing services at the university is actually there, and they have trained professional therapists there too that are there specifically to help students adjust to college. So they can help you with a variety of things. I remember going to therapy with the counseling testing service after my dad died, and I was really struggling in college. Even without something traumatic happening like the death of a parent, you can go there to learn a lot about things like interpersonal relationships, building boundaries, how to take care of yourself and not get burnt out of college. You can also learn a lot of things about how to have a healthy relationship in college, because this is their first time being away from home and away from high school and having a real relationship for some of y'all. So they also have a lot of group therapy sessions and support groups, and I strongly recommend using them. They also have concentrated focus groups for queer students. They have groups for first generation college students, some men of color. I recommend using those support systems. You're already paying so much money for tuition, and part of that money goes into counseling testing services. Might as well use it, because One, they're extremely helpful. Second, it really helps for you to get adjusted to college because mental health really matters and some people really struggle with it. And if you're already paying for it, use the resource that's already being provided to you. Now that we've talked about the first three things, number four, I recommend getting involved with a student organization on campus. Like I said before, you're paying for a lot of things, and one of the best things I can recommend doing is getting involved with a student organization. A lot of student organizations within UNT and a lot of universities that you're going to end up going to are taking fees from your tuition and putting it into these organizations. So getting involved is a good way to get your money's worth out of college. One. Two, it builds a support system for you and it's easier to make friends. And three, you get to do something you're passionate about. For example, when I was a freshman, I did the hall council in my building at Victory Hall. It was a way for me to meet students. I did programs for students and we held events like movie nights, a day where therapy dogs came and students played with therapy dogs. I got to be a leader in my community. And I got to throw fun events for everyone, and I made some of my best friends, which also led me to become an RA later on too, but that's a different story. However, there are other student organizations out there too. There's the Asian Student Association, there's the Black Student Union, there's the First Generation Student Organization. There's also other stuff like Anime Club too. There's various clubs. You can also go to the rec and there's a Smash Bros club where you can play Smash Bros. So one of the best things you can do is get involved in a student organization, just anything to get involved. That way you find a sense of community, and not only that, you have something to do and you can have fun with people. Of course, the fifth but not least, one of the things I've been talking about a lot is you're paying for a lot of these resources, so might as well use it. That same thing applies for resources such as the rec and also the Career Center. The Career Center has been one of the most important things I use, specifically my senior year. The Career Center is here at UNT and they do a lot of amazing things. They help you write your resume. They can help you do mock interviews for job interviews. They have career coaches that can help you figure out what you want to do if you're not sure about what you want to do after college. Not only those things, but they also do headshots. They can help you make business cards for free. So one of the best resources, especially when you're job hunting, I can recommend is the Career Center. The Career Center also will help you find clothing that are business professional or business casual that you can get from them for free. So if you're struggling on cash, or if you just need advice about getting a job, how to do an interview, because not everyone has that experience, I strongly recommend using the Career Center because it's an amazing resource. Even if you need like a headshot, it's completely free. Just go do it. If you need business cards, don't pay for it. You can literally go to the Career Center and they can help you print those out for you. With all that being said, those are the 5 resources that I strongly recommend using when you start moving into college at UNT. I hope this video was useful, and if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I hope you have an amazing day.